Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are so excited you're here. I just am so thrilled to be able to be talking about this tonight. What I've done is I have just looked through everything I could find and all the research and tried to compile that all into one. So hopefully this is going to go over great and you guys are going to just get some great information and have it all together in one place. But just want to start out, I'm Nikki McCutchen. I will be your host for this evening. All of the technology that we're discussing tonight is not intended to treat, cure, prevent, diagnose any type of disease in the body. We always recommend that you check with your preferred healthcare practitioner first, just like we would with if you were embarking on a health regimen or a different diet, to talk with that preferred healthcare practitioner. So this is the same as with that. So please just, I'm not a doctor. I do have a background in wellness. I have been a coach and a personal trainer and did those things for several years. But I really always classify, my biggest and most important degree as a mom, and what you have to do for your kids. So that's always been the most important thing for me. But we are going to dive in. Tonight, we are talking about the X2O machine that just launched today. I hope every single one of you was able to get on as soon as it was available this morning. It sold out within like an hour. I did hear that the next shipment is already on its way. So hopefully it won't be long if you did miss out on that, to where it won't be long and there'll be the next shipments will be coming in. But make sure if you haven't gone into your website and got on the waiting list. It sounds like they're going to go down the waiting list on this next shipment or next ordering and offer those to people through email on the waiting list. So make sure you log in there, get on that waiting list as soon as possible. Don't wait on that. So I'm so sorry, Angela, that you didn't get yours. I feel for you. I totally feel for you. So I missed out on the first round and screwed up. And so anyway, I totally feel for you. So my heart goes out to you, but hopefully it won't be long. Make sure you get on the wait list on the email, go on your website and register for that. So, Vicki, anytime you want to jump in, I'm going to start talking, but you have free reign. If something comes to your mind, you just jump on in and add whatever you want to. I just love our ability to work together and give people great information. So feel free to have access to that. So I'm going to dive in starting with kind of the creation of this and the patents. So there's actually over 20 patents just on the X2O water machine by itself. And this is really crazy. They had to create a brand new category for the patents on this machine. And so the fact that they were able to do it as quickly as they did and everything that David Schmidt had put together, it is just truly, again, another amazing testament to his genius, the remarkability of the creator, scientist, founder that he is. So just know you are in the right place. You're with the right company. We are following the right man to have amazing technology, one-of-a-kind technology. And so that was truly remarkable when I heard that. So we've started out with 6 clinical trials, and there's more to come. There are currently trials going on. They're working on trials that are 6 to 12 months. They're working on trials that are more than just 1 glass of water. So far, those first 6 clinical trials with the release of the 3 studies that we do have, they're all based on 1 glass of water. So just know that that's what we start people out with. And some people may need to start out with just 8 ounces, especially depending on your health conditions. But all of the studies are based on 1 glass of water. You'll hear here tonight as well, there's other people who are drinking more than just 1 glass of water that have had their system for a while. But just know that right now that's where it's at. So people can drink just 1 glass of water and get all the results that I'm going to tell you about tonight, which are just truly amazing. So 100% effectiveness rate. Okay. I want you all to take that in. What do we have in this world that gives us 100% effectiveness rate, 100% results? Cross studying. Okay. So multiple types of studies, and I'm going to go into some of those and how they're done, but all showing 100% reaction within 15 seconds. In one of the studies, at the longest, there was only 1 person that was 2 minutes, but every single person in the study is showing results instantaneous, immediate results in some areas, which is truly remarkable. Uh, so, okay, so when you're looking at the studies, one part of the picture is the biochemical tests. So, like getting your blood work done and seeing a marker. So, let's say like certain types of inflammation in the body. And then another type of testing that you can do, which is bioenergetic. Okay, so you have the biomarkers that are giving you a piece of information, a number that is within range or outside of the range in some way. And then you have the bioenergetic tests that are able to tell you specifically where in the body what's happening. So this would be things like a Menla scan or a BioWell or thermographic imaging. So there's multiple different types of bioenergetic scanning for the body. So combining these different test results really gives you a better picture of the things that you need to specifically address whatever is going on in your health. And so again, the genius of David Schmidt in using multiple avenues of showing results with this technology. So I'm just going to give like a quick overview of what they're seeing in these different types of tests. And then I'm going to dive in a little bit deeper into some of these. So inflammation reduction, improvements in cellular energy, faster healing and improvements in the skin, chronic fatigue reduction, optimization of metabolic function. The metabolism improves within minutes. Okay, I'm going to dive deeper into metabolism, but seeing that improve within minutes is why the results are so amazing across the board for your body. Oxygen levels improve, breathing improves, protein synthesis improves. There's improvements in collagen, improvements in the pathway that creates NAD. I'm going to dive deeper into NAD as well, because again, NAD is one of those very unusual things that we haven't really access to or supported directly. And now this water technology is giving us a huge piece of the puzzle. And it's why we're seeing those results so quickly as well. So when every cell in the body is now receiving proper hydration, it causes all of your body systems to work better you have to consider what's actually happening on the metabolic side. Okay. So when this is going on in the body, so if you're talking about your metabolism working better, so that's one piece, but then let's also look at it from the standpoint of metabolic dysfunction. So when you're thinking about metabolic dysfunction, you're thinking about conditions like diabetes or blood pressure issues or weight issues, thyroid issues. These are all in that metabolic category. So this changes everything in regard to metabolic health, as well as when you consider the fact that so changing everything in regard to metabolic health. Okay. But when you're looking at it, let's say practitioners or, we all have our own businesses. So the government cannot regulate water. This is just water. Okay. So that is a huge key piece of the puzzle. So when they're looking for better options for their patients, having something that cannot be regulated like water is perfect. So as well as when you understand what the technology is actually doing, it's critical for on the function side of what is being created in the body. And that's imperative to understand. So like a practitioner that would be doing this, or even just for our own, owning our own business, these are huge key pieces of having something that is it's free, it's clear, it's what we have in our world is water. So that's amazing. So this technology is infused with 6 different wavelengths of light, as well as and I'm going to dive deeper into that, but it's also charged with hydrogen. So it can be classified as a hydrogen machine as well. Now, just know that there's multiple other machines on the market today. And this is an add to, this is a benefit to. So we have no competition. This is not in competition with another water system. This is, you're using your whole health system, you're using your Kangen water, you're using whatever your other thing is, and this is in benefit as well to that. So there is zero competition in the market because nothing else out there is infused with light, but it's also a benefit to those people who care about the water that they're drinking. So this is going to be something that is extremely attractive to them. It does not replace any other type of water filtration system that they're necessarily using for their whole house, or to use, this isn't something, we can't use this in cooking. We can't use it on cooking in our stove. So we can't do some of those kinds of things with that in tea, in any, like, we shouldn't be putting things in the microwave, but I still do that sometimes too. So, but all of those things, we can't use this water because it will damage the structure. And so we won't have the same results. So we have to drink it right when it comes out of the machine. So back to hydrogen water. Hydrogen water gives the body the ability to support antioxidants and reduce oxidative stress. It supports cellular energy production. So it's not just hydrogen water or structured water or a filtration system that's filtering everything out. Even though it's doing all of those things, it's actually changing the molecular structure of the water, which is why this is new and no one else has this. This has never happened before, to where the water is actually different. So the biophotons, what those are is particles of light. Okay. So that light infusion, they're improving the cellular signaling, and they enhance the metabolic energy. Okay. So let's just think about this for a second. Okay. And I just had a moment where I went off and I thought, okay, I'm just kind of step outside of, of all of the science of things and address this one little piece, is that we are light beings. Okay. And I know that I have been in that world where that would sound crazy to me. But when you understand the science piece, okay, the fact that when God created the heavens and earth, he, created light, and he said, let there be light. And when we are created, so in our mother's wombs, when the sperm and the egg meet, there is a burst of light. Okay. This is seen. All right. So when we go outside, all of our plants, all of the nutrition, the things that we eat, they need light to grow and be healthy and be what we need. Okay. And so everything that we need, it has to do with light. That's why you can see our bodies, our forms, when you're looking through night vision goggles, which I talk about every single Monday night, is that you can see that light that we are emitting. Okay. They have tried to not dim isn't the right word, but cover up that light so that you can't see it. So through night vision goggles, they've tried to cover, they've used all kinds of different blankets and fabrics and different things so that you can't see it. They cannot find a way to block it. Okay. So this is when it sends me into the fact: get your Bible out, do a search on light. Okay. Look at all the verses on light. Jesus is the light. He said, we are the light of the world. So not only do we have this science piece, okay, that shows us that we are the light of the world and Jesus is the light and he is the one who created all of these things, but we have the biblical piece and all the parts that come with it on light. Pastor Ed, I would love it if you would do a Wednesday night on all the verses in light. I know it totally steps outside of our science and our business, but this is why I love this company. This is why I love David Schmidt, because he has studied what God has designed from our base, how we are designed. It's why our technologies support our bodies so well, because he is looking at the source of truth. He is coming at it from where's the truth? Where does the truth start? And how do I get to a place that benefits the life that God has created? So anyway, I'm going to put that on the shelf, but that's my heart. That's why I love this company. It's why I love what we're doing. It's why I'm so thankful every day for the people that I get to interact with, because we get to offer them this light technology that points them back to Jesus, because that's how we're created. And that is the most important thing of all. So, okay. So going back to metabolic energy, Okay, and the absorption and getting hydration into every single cell of your body. So this changes things in how things are absorbed. So it allows our body, every single cell in our body, to receive hydration and then receive absorption of nutrients. So nutrients from your supplements, nutrients from your food. It's actually able to get into the cell, and then your body is being able to use that efficiently. Okay. So I have absorption issues. I have had absorption issues for years. If you all know me well or hear me talk very often, you know I'm constantly working. My company is named Embrace Optimal Health for a reason, because I believe we pursue health. We embrace optimal health with our choices in our daily life. And so I have been working at trying to figure out how to help my nutrient absorption. I am praying and hoping, and it really looks like scientifically that this technology is what is going to do it. A lot of people have nutrient absorption issues. Okay, so this is a very common metabolic dysfunction, and nutrient absorption issues are very, very common. So to be able to allow the cell to be infused with your nutrients. Okay, that's why this changes everything from a metabolic state. All right, so another little extra piece I'm going to give you over here on the side that's pretty interesting. If you are on medications, okay, write this down. And somebody can type it in the chat for me. You want to go to mytavin.com. So this is if you're on medications. Mytavin, it's MYTAVIN, mytavin.com. You can type in any medication and it will tell you what nutrients are actually the nutrients that medication is blocking. Okay. So if it's blocking the absorption of vitamin D, you can't just take more vitamin D, because the job of that medication is to block it, and it blocks the ability to absorb it. Okay. So this is a key piece of information for your own health and your own ability to take charge of your own health, and go to your doctor and say, I noticed that this shows that one of the things that this medication does is that it blocks my absorption of XYZ vitamin. Okay. And I really don't want that to happen. So what are the options so that I can make sure that my body has the ability to absorb that option? It should be IN, Leslie, MYTVIN. I looked it up earlier, so I hope I didn't look it up wrong. So anyway, so go to them, tell them, that you want to be able to have that, absorption. Look up on ChatGPT what the vitamin is, what it actually does in the body, how that nutrient or vitamin supports your body, so that you can have some understanding of why you want to try to figure out a way to not have that blocking that in particular vitamin. So that brings me to Celergize. So if you're drinking the water, okay, and you're using Celergize, this is specifically designed to support the patches to get into every cell of our body so that our body is able to make GHK copper peptide. Okay. I go into that in depth on Monday nights, and Celergize and how those support each other, but it allows then for your patches to work better, for everything to work better. It allows them to absorb more effectively. So your body now has use of those nutrients, so your body can do what it was designed to do, which is everything that our technology is about, supporting the body so that it can do what it was designed to do by our creator. So this is why it helps people with metabolic issues. So it's supporting your pancreas and your liver specifically as well because of that. So, all right. So this is an important distinction to make. The intake does not equal hydration. Okay. So when you're thinking about just regular water, okay, the intake does not necessarily equal hydration. So that's why it's so important to have the technology that we have, good high quality water, for that to get into the cell. So the water has to actually enter the cell for the cell, and the cell to function drives hydration. Okay, so water has to get into the cell for the cell to be able to drive that function for the hydration. All right. So it's why we actually wear X39, because it supports cellular function. So these work together. Okay. The water technology and the X39 as well as the Cellergize. It affects the cell to cell communication as well as protein function, energy production, and detoxification. The detoxification is huge because this is where people are really struggling today. So their bodies are overloaded. So most people's bodies, their bodies are overloaded, and they can't clear the toxins. So this is why people get diagnosed with things like MTHFR or mast cell activation. It's because their bodies are not able to clear those toxins. So water is not just a carrier, but it's actually critical in every single function that your body does. Every single function. And you hear me say it every single Monday night that we have to have water. This is not just about our technology. It's about our body's ability to work right. So let's go back to the clinical studies. So what they noticed is amino acid shifts are noticed across all of the studies. Okay. Amino acids are the building blocks to your proteins in your cells. Okay. Electrolytes coming into balance. So your electrolytes are coming into balance. Has been noted across all of the studies. Okay, truly remarkable. All those electrolytes that we're deficient in, magnesium, potassium, sodium, and all the other ones that are, more trace. So it also supports neurotransmitter activity. So brain activity, the signals that are being sent from your brain to control your mood regulation, the way that you react to things. All of those things come from that neurotransmitter activity. Okay, so for those of you that have the water machine, so I know Vicki, Pastor Ed, David, I don't know if there's anybody else on here that has had it for a while. I'm going to dive in a little bit deeper to some of these things, but go ahead and make a list, like write a list for me so that at the end of the call, you guys can come back on and you can tell us where you have actually seen this personally for yourselves. You've seen these things happen in your body and you can tell us about that. So we'll have you just guys pop on at the end and talk about that. So reduction in inflammation. So especially with any type of inflammatory conditions. Okay. So, aches that you have in your back in different places. So that's something that they've noticed across the board with these studies. Improvements in blood flow and cognition. Brain fog goes away. There's an immediate improvement in spatial awareness and the feeling of being mentally awake. This has to do with the support of the cerebral cortex in the brain. So this is overall wellness in mental thinking and learning. So that what is happening is there is an initial big rush when you drink the water that goes up into the brain. And most people will feel this right away. It supports the hypothalamus, which is often considered the brain of the brain. So the hypothalamus governs body temperature, immune system, and appetite. All this can be seen in the bioelectrical testing within minutes of what's going on in your brain, in inflammation reduction. I mean, truly remarkable. So it's triggering a relaxation response in the nervous system. And so it's relaxing and bringing the brain back into a normalized state. How many people are you around every single day that are constantly in fight or flight? And you can tell because of the way they talk to you, because they can't sit still, like all of the different things that you notice about people that they struggle to be calm. This helps to bring that down and bring that brain into a normalized state. This was very interesting. So they actually measured it in one of the clinical studies that a lot of people hold tension in your jaw. It's why people have all kinds of TMJ issues because we're constantly, gritting or grinding our teeth, even in our sleep because of our stress levels. So they actually saw immediate reduction and relaxation by an extremely significant amount. It was like I think it was like 278% reduction in the jaw when they measured it, which is truly remarkable. So this is also just mind-blowing. There were positive changes in every single organ group. Okay, do y'all understand why this? I'm like, I just am bursting. Every single organ group, there's over 100 statistically significant changes in the body within minutes. This was jaw-dropping to them. They did not expect to get these kinds of results with this technology. So there's improvements in blood flow to help with circulation, with blood pressure, with neuropathy. It showed a rapid improvement of the HRV, so your heart rate variability, which what that tells you is that it's improving the health of your heart. So they saw improvements on an EKG. Okay, so when you're looking at it, that would mean that for athletes, or even just for you to perform and go about, your life, if you're trying to get back into exercise and do some of those things, that it's going to improve athletic performance. And they did see that across the board. So when you are supporting the heart, then when you're doing those things that are causing your body to work harder athletically and support your muscles and lift weights and do all of those things, you're going to have those improvements and be able to do that even better because you have the improvements to your heart and the blood flow and the circulation of your blood, and the blood that's carrying the oxygen to every single part of your body, every single organ. Truly remarkable. This was interesting too. So your body age significantly decreased, and this was shown in study 1 and 2. So 2 different avenues, 2 types of studies using multiple different measurements showing that your body age decreases. Please sign me up for that. Yes, I am in 110%. Let's do that. And then this one, I mean, if it already had me, okay, but this one, like, of course, every woman in America should want this machine. You burn more calories because it increases energy, and it's from multiple avenues, okay, multiple avenues of increasing energy. And I'm going to dive into some of those in a minute. So when the people that drink the water lose body fat, yes, I do not have to be on a GLP-1. I can wear my patches and I can drink this water and I can exercise and I can eat good and my body can be brought back into balance. Sign me up for that. It increases the metabolism, which is exactly what we're talking about, which allows your body to lose weight. When you increase your metabolism, you're able to lose weight. And this is what's remarkable. Some of the women that I've been listening talk about that have had weight to lose, that they notice that their metabolism has increased because they will do things or eat things that they would have never been able to eat. So, women like those of us going through menopause, 45 and older, 50 and older, that are like, okay, we gotta get a handle on this puppy because it's getting out of control. So they're seeing that they're able to eat like when they were in their 20s, and they would have, that would have been something that we would have never thought we were able to do. So I wouldn't say, obviously let's make healthy choices, y'all, but like that makes me excited that maybe if I want to have another cookie once in a while, then I can. So when you burn more fat, it makes more energy. Okay, these numbers, the average was 1750 calorie burn. The highest that it went up to was 2,500. Please, Lord, sign me up for that one. I want 2,500 calorie burn every single time. So the metabolism is being restored. That's what we're showing. Again, it's because this allowing every cell to be hydrated, infusing it with light, getting into the cell, increases the energy across the board, across our bodies in multiple different ways. So it's restored to when you were younger, and this is consistent with the increase of amount of oxygen that's now getting into the cell. Because of the increase in oxygen, you can also classify this as a form of oxygen therapy. So oxygenating every part of our body, our cells, our organs, our brain, our eyes, all the things. Every part of our body needs oxygen. So I mentioned the improvements in physical performance because it's increasing muscle protein synthesis. So you build more muscle more quickly. So why does this happen? It increases NAD, which I mentioned before, in amino acids. So NAD is a component that we have not been able to support yet with the technologies in this way of what we have. NAD, number one, has to do with energy production. It has to do with DNA repair and fighting cellular aging and inflammation. Okay, so it supports the muscle health, the brain cell repair, the neurotransmitter balance, so better mood and DNA repair by actually turning on our DNA that are the longevity genes. Okay, so the ones that actually control how well we live, how vitally we live, however many days that we're given here on this earth. Okay, it helps regulate insulin sensitivity, the metabolism, and the mitochondrial efficiency. So some of the NAD IV therapy treatments that I've seen around here are $400 for one treatment. So I want to put that kind of in a package for you to understand the value that is on our ability to support our NAD. Okay, this is elevating the ATP production across our bodies in every way when NAD is supported properly. So when the water is consumed, it triggers the regenerative mechanisms within our cells. So it's allowing our body to do its job. Our body's job is to heal itself. That's what it does. So it improves our ability to regenerate, renew, and recover. So where does the body do these things? Okay, so I want you all get on the chat, okay, and I want you to type in, where do you see that it needs to regenerate, renew, or recover? So just start typing in chat what it is that your body needs to do in that way. So why or how does our body need to do this, or how does it do this? It does it because inflammation decreases. Regenerative cells actually struggle in the presence of inflammation because inflammation eats regenerative cells. You will hear me talk about this every single Monday night. So as we age, our regenerative cells start to decline. So they drop off at about 50% by the time we're 30, okay? So inflammation is not dropping off. Inflammation is being created in the body, okay? So regenerative cells are drawn to inflammation in the body, but inflammation eats those regenerative cells. So if we can now support our body's ability to regenerate, renew, and repair, it changes absolutely everything. Okay, so let me see. I lost my place. Okay, here we go. So consuming water infused with light increases the production of collagen. So again, I talk about this every Monday. The collagen reduces at about the same rate as the regenerative cells. Collagen is the glue that holds our body together. It is in the lining of every organ. It is in the functionality of our body to talk to each other through the meridian system. The meridian system in our body is actually made of teeny tiny little fiber spindles that are wrapped in electrolytes. So it is this communication system throughout our body that drives our ability to talk from our brain to our toe and everything that we do. So moving, me talking, me thinking, my eyes moving, us breathing, all of that is created by energy, by ATP. So, and collagen is controlling that through the meridian system. It's truly remarkable. So light is the master control mechanism of everything that goes on in the body. It's why I use the light switch example every single Monday night, turning on that light switch. Okay. And then I do throw in a few little things, but remember, Jesus is the light. He is the light switch that turns on everything for us. So the electrical system of the body controls the chemistry. You turn on the light switch and the hydration, the electrical conductivity of each cell to communicate with the other cells what the job that needs to happen. So cell to cell communication, transporting that information of what it's trying to tell that piece or part of the body to do. So we have this thought to move our limbs, and there's a flow of biologic energy. And the amount of hydrogen we have allows us to pass information of the electrical communication from cell to cell. It's the hydration that allows all of that communication to pass. So that has to signal that muscle contraction for that limb to move. So we have to have the thought, the muscle, it sends the signal for us to have that muscle contraction. Our body is 70% water. And so water is everywhere. And that's an important principle because then light can be delivered to any area in the body that we need it to go. So water is the delivery mechanism for the light. The messages, the nutrients to get into our cells, the light is the delivery. That's what the hydration is delivering, all of that. What we're talking about here is the opportunity to give people health freedom. That's what our technology does, is it puts health freedom back into the possession of the owner of the body, of us, where we can make our choices, where we have access to things that truly support our body in every way. So I have two other little caveats. That's mostly going over all the science, but two other things I learned in this process that I just wanted to throw out there. So you guys do peptide therapies that are out there in injectable or IV form for different practitioners that I'm working with. So they'll have a comparison of why would you choose this over another injection. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do some of those other injections. I'm not saying that at all. You could certainly do them in combination. But when you're thinking about people's finances, as well as the way that it supports the body, just something to consider in any IV therapy, peptide injection that's out there, or at least in the Tulsa market. When I pull up what's available here in Tulsa, if they're going to give you like a longevity stack, an anti-aging stack, okay, of injectable forms of peptides, what they are going to give you is Epitalon, which is our Alavita patch. Okay. So, and remember, we have no fillers. We have no stabilizers. There's nothing, your body doesn't have to pull this apart and break this apart. Our technology is supporting from the base, the design, the way we are created. Okay. So that stack, that longevity stack, anti-aging stack for overall health and vitality, Epitalon, Alavita, NAD, which now we have the water system that is going to impact that significantly. Okay. GHK copper peptide, of course, the fountain of youth is in there, X39, and human growth hormone. That is going to be supported by AHK copper peptide as well as Alavita. So, which is AHK copper peptide is X49. Those are the four that would be classified as a longevity anti-aging stack that you would go in for overall vitality and wellness. And I told you that the NAD one by itself, $400. Okay, one IV of that. So just think about if you add pricing on all of that other things to where what we have in our hands is truly remarkable in every way. We have access to use that ourselves in the privacy of our own homes. And then we have the amazing opportunity to offer it to others so that they can do it and have access to it in their own homes as well. And it is saving them a ton of money and time. Think when you go in for those IV, I mean, you're there for an hour, at least an hour doing the IV therapy. Obviously, the injections are probably coming to your home, and injections are a whole nother category because there is so much hanky-panky in the industry. I mean, you have to make sure you are getting it from a very reputable source. Don't just be, I can't even tell you how many people I've sat in front of who are literally like ordering off the internet. I don't even know. I mean, and they're cheap. They're cheap. This should be a huge red flag. Anyway, that is just another little caveat I wanted to throw in there that's a little bit unusual, but just for you to know, the value that we have here is truly priceless. The prices that we get for all the things that we're getting is truly remarkable, especially when you look at comparatively of what we could get out there on the market today. So I just want to open it up for any of you who've had the water machine. So I went through that list. What have you noticed? What of those things on that list that have been shown in the clinical studies can you also say that, yes, I noticed those things? So Vicki, if you want to come on.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you just gave us so much good information, Nikki, and my brain is like, it's absorbing everything. So it's so exciting, to be in this business and to have the release of this machine finally. Oh, thank you, Lord. And yeah, just knowing all of this, like we don't have to be experts, right? We just need to know that it's going to help. It helps 100% of people. So everybody that drinks the water, it's going to help some way, shape, or form. But for me personally, we've had ours, I guess, well, we've had only had it back for about 3 weeks, maybe. But I have noticed better mental clarity, obviously. My energy levels through the roof. I love it. I love it. Because I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I just want to keep going, 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 all day until I take a seat next to my dogs in the evening. It's helped me with bladder improvement. So, what I don't like to get personal, but I like to share this because when I was going through my issues with my bladder, I had hard time just being able to hold, urine in. So if I had an inkling of that I needed to go to the bathroom, I was constantly going, like every 5 minutes. And what this has helped me do, which is amazing because I didn't have it for a little while and I started to go potty all the time again. Now that we've had it back, I'm learning to train my bladder again. So that light, being released to all of our cells throughout our body, I really believe it has helped my bladder issues because it's infusing that with light. So it's trying to heal itself. But I can actually hold it for hours now, which I never could before. I've had better sleep, amazing sleep. And last night I tried the Cellularize Evening with the X2O water, and it worked pretty well. But Pastor Ed had me up, so I'm going to try it again tonight. And then recovery from my workouts, like I might get a little, like if I use my muscle, it's a little sore, but nothing like I used to before. Nothing like I used to. And then obviously I feel more relaxed, like less stress throughout the day. So I feel like I can juggle more things, like more multitasking, getting things accomplished, just being more productive. And I think that's just longevity in general. So, yeah, I am so thankful for this because, it's helped me in so many different ways, and I get to share with everybody. You know what I mean? I just sent some water with my son's for his girlfriend's sister, so we'll see how that goes.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
I know it's going to help her because she has gut issues, intestinal issues, and I know it's going to help her just like it helped me. I already got her on the Cellularize, so I want her to use that together.
Absolutely. That's huge. That's amazing. Yes. And I know Mary, she's saying that all of the things that I've listed off, that she's seen all of those things in utilizing it with the Cellularize morning and evening and X39. And yes, Diane, so it would oxygen therapy, not obviously in the same way as a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, but classified as an oxygen therapy because it's oxygenating every single place of your body, because it's infused with light and everything's moving. So, yeah. Yes, David or Pastor Ed, do you guys want to come on? Is there anything you want to share from that list that you've
Yeah,
noticed?
so I email, oh, well, not email, I chat, in the chat, I put, there's a screenshot of my Hume and check out how many days, since we got the machine back, look at the thing that I posted, 15.4 days added overall and age reversal.
Yeah, it's remarkable. Absolutely remarkable.
This is really incredible. And you were talking about teaching of light. I also put a Canva link. One of the teachings I have 4 weeks. I taught in my church about how we are light, and
Amazing.
so that link is one of them. I'm not going to give you all of them, so keep you guessing.
Thank you. No, thank you. That's amazing. That's so amazing. Thank you so much.
So same with Vicky, like she was saying, energy. I've also when I started doing a training online with Liberty University a couple years back, and I couldn't read the textbooks because my eyesight. And I used to wear readers, right? Like, man, am I really dating myself? But now I don't use the readers, and I read all the time. So
That's what
I
I'm
never
hoping
tested.
for. I'm hoping for that. You see my lovely readers. Yes.
Well, I was listening to Dr. Jan O'Sullivan, and she had astigmatism from before, and so she's had a lot of support with that too. So that's
Mhm.
kind of awesome.
It was totally awesome. Yes. Yes. Yeah. What about you, David? Is there anything you want to come on and share with us?
Sure, hold on because I'm driving. But
Oh, sorry.
no, that's okay. That's okay. I've got the boss in the car too, because she can testify to the water machine. Um,
Awesome. Yeah, I know
I
she's
mean,
turned into Wonder Woman.
Let me tell you, Nikki, that not only did I have incredible mental clarity when I started drinking the water and a lot of energy, but I had more strength, and that was important to me. I mean, I
Absolutely.
could move things, pick things up that I would never dream I could, handle on my own, but I did.
Mhm.
I,
Absolutely. Yes.
I know I was able to lift a king size Tempur-Pedic mattress by myself without having David help me. So that was really, really amazing. And now that
Yeah.
we're up in Maryland and I don't have the water, I feel the difference.
Mm,
I can't
yeah.
wait to get back home and drink the water again.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so, do you mind sharing how many years young you are with us, Linda?
How many what?
how old
Years
you are?
young?
How many years young I am?
Yes.
74.
7. Okay, y'all. If you don't have a Tempur-Pedic mattress or never, I don't have one, but my parents and my grandparents have. I mean, I'm 50 now. That was probably like back when I was 40, 35. I wasn't moving that thing on my own. So y'all, 74, a Tempur king size. That's incredible. That's remarkable, Linda. That blows my mind.
I know it blew my mind when I lifted it.
Absolutely.
Mine
Absolutely.
too.
Yes. And I know, David, so what we're recommended to start out with is just 1 glass a day, and you can just stick with that. But I know, David, you've been drinking more than 1 glass of water a day. So what are you noticing with that?
The clarity, the strength also, and what's so amazing with the clarity is just with especially when Linda got that clarity. I mean, and then she looked at me and she says, "You know, I didn't realize how good looking you were."
Oh, please.
She got real good mental clarity on that one. Uh, but no, the strength, the overall strength, and the clarity, the eyes, like Pastor Ed was saying about reading. I can notice the difference in reading different books and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's a game changer, and
that's
I can
awesome.
tell the difference too because you know we haven't had it for almost 4 months now.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. And another thing that I'm thinking is that I'm excited about being able, like, I have heard a few people that are drinking it like throughout the day, like that's the water that they're drinking all day long. And what makes me excited about that, again, is from the metabolism increase and the ability to burn more calories. And so I'm thinking, if I can get to a place to where I'm drinking it all day long, then my metabolism is going to be regulated so that I'm not constantly having to, work my fanny off at all the things that I'm doing, to be able to keep my weight down and keep, my strength up and all of those things that will come back into balance and reset me to a younger, healthier state. So I'm hoping to be able to drink the water all day long. I hope I'm one of those that can do. But even if I'm detoxing and all of that, I still classify all of that as good. Your body needs to detox to heal and repair. So we have to be able to go through that detoxification process and allow our bodies to do that. And so I will be super happy even with that. So the nice thing is we just may need to go slower and drink, just drink less water, so our body can do that a little bit slower. So.
And I drink 3 glasses a day, 1 in the morning with the Celergize, 1 at noontime, and then 1 in the evening with the evening Celergize.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know David talked about how when he drank one at 3 o'clock, David Schmidt, he talked about drinking one at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then he struggled to go to sleep. So, everybody's body's going to be different. And so we just got to play with those things to find out what's going to support your overall health and vitality with the water the best. And all of us are going to end up being different because that's our bodies. So.
You want to hear something good?
Absolutely.
I just heard this from Dr. Jen O'Sullivan also. She said that you don't just have to drink 1 glass a day.
Right.
That's what it's done with the clinical studies. But if you want to drink it all day long, you go right ahead.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong that's going to happen to you. So it just became another water source to drink from.
Absolutely.
So I just pour myself another glass.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being on tonight. Thank you for gracing me with your presence and going a little bit longer. We definitely went over, but hopefully you found it valuable and got lots of good information and feel like this is something that you'll be able to share. If you want people to have kind of a, decent overview of all the different clinical studies and then some of the results as well that people are seeing. So with that, I'm going to give you back your Thursday night, and please get back to whoever invited you to the call tonight. Find out more about the water machine. If you're not on the waiting list, make sure you go online and get on the waiting list so that you will be able to get, hopefully in this next round, a water machine. And just know that we 100%, with the fullness and all grace and mercy of the Lord, pray blessing over each and every one of you. Good night, everyone. Have a good evening.
Good night.
God bless,
Great job, Nikki.
Good night.
bless.
Thank you
Great
for
job,
all the good
Nikki.
information.
Everyone.
Absolutely.
Bless everybody.